Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today we're in 7.1.5 Unholy DK, talking about PvP specs, which I enjoy currently. As in the last video, I didn't really enjoy that dot spec in PvP, and I really feel like I can maximize it elsewhere. So today we're going to be talking about the best spec to be using in an arena, and how I feel, of course, in BG situations. So let's go ahead and jump into this.
It's who we are, it's what we do, we've come so far, and now we pay the price, so don't even cry. The world is breaking down, and I cannot leave the ground.
So the level 56 talent we're going to be using is All Will Serve. Now the reason we're using All Will Serve is for the mechanical stability that this talent offers inside of 2v2 and 3v3. Now inside of Arena, a lot of classes have a ton of AoE and tend to kill your pet without even focusing it, or your pet gets focused down, your healer gets CC'd, you have to pop Corpse Shield, you're left without a pet. Being that your pet has a stun and an interrupt, that can definitely land kills inside of Arena when controlled correctly. It is a big part of it inside those situations. Since of course we're running Asphyxiate for the level 60 talent, we've got 2 stuns and 2 interrupts, which tends to be quite a lot when used, of course, correctly. And you don't want them to take away your ghoul, because that mechanic stability in, of course, 3v3 or 2v2 arenas and healer situations is king. CC is king. Don't ever be confused about that. Landing interrupts, getting perfect polys, getting perfect silences is what makes Arena. So definitely go with that. Now the level 57 talent we're going to be using is Blighted Rune Weapon. Now Pestilence will give you more consistency damage, as we'll know, but Blighted Rune Weapon will allow you to control your burst a bit more. It'll allow you to give you a 1-minute cooldown, and of course, have 5 auto attacks to infect your target with 2 festering wounds. Now, this ability is definitely nice, even in BG situations. I've found myself using this, of course, with the amped up damage a bit. We don't need as much consistency as in Holy, and of course, this ability will allow us to burst a lot faster when it comes to 1v1 situations, and of course, in arena situations, this will allow you to control a bit more burst when it comes to when you want to deal damage as an Holy, as compared to just kind of keeping that same consistent rotation as you're running a Pestilent. So this will also give you the ability to proc Apocalypse, and of course get Bursting Swords to lay out, of course, Bursting Swords afterwards. Of course, if you're bursting on a target, of course, I just said of course like a million times, so sometimes that happens. I don't know why. Anyways, going into the level 58 talent, we're going to be using Clawing Shadows. Again, this ability is more for the mechanic stability. As Castigator, you would probably deal a bit more consistency damage based on the proc chance on generating more festering wounds. But overall, the mechanical stability of using Clawing Shadows in Arena is going to be better. Almost did it again. And let's say like a mage portals away for you, druid jumps, things like that. Clawing Shadows is absolutely going to be amazing. Of course, it ruptures. It did it again. It ruptures the swords and deals quite a bit of damage. So taking Clawing Shadows is definitely going to be a need inside of Arena, because there is a lot of kiting going on with a lot of classes. Even in BG situations and 1v1s, I like to take Clawing Shadows, because you can kite people for days and hit them at range, dot them up, and it actually plays out really well for the Unholy spec. And if you want to, you can reburst with Blight Rune Weapon. Now that I'm thinking about it, it becomes even harder to keep it off the mind. Alright, so going down to the level 75 talent, I'm going to be using Corpse Shield, because it's going to be D'ing us up. And you got to have the macro to proc Huddle with this ability. And you have an amazing defense on an Unholy DK using Corpse Shield. So definitely take that in arena situations and or PvP inside BGs. As for the level 90 talent, we're going to be using Clawing Shadows to generate Festering Runes at range. It kind of goes along with Clawing Shadows. We're, of course, bursting runes at range using Clawing Shadows. It kind of makes it for a fuller rotation, and you can use Clawing Shadows more often. As for the level 100 talent, we're going to be using Soul Reaper. As for that, generates an insane amount of burst when using Apocalypse inside of arena situations. See, this is what happens when I don't make videos for a couple days. I start resorting back to these words I use over and over again as filler gaps, and I gotta stop doing that. I really dislike how that happens. As for PvP talents, I mean, the first ones are going to be pretty basic. You can switch between Anti-Magic Zone if you want. I personally love Cadaverous. I love running Reinforced Armor and Gladiator's Medallion. I may go Hardiness or something running Unholy, but I'll really have to kind of think about that. I like reinforced armor a lot though. Necrotic Arroya definitely for the enhanced magical damage. All the damage we got pumping out is definitely magic damage, dot damage, and nature damage coming out of that gargoyle. Whatever he likes to do, chaos damage. And we're also going to be using with this spec Crypt Fever. Now, as you can see down at the bottom, we're using Necrotic Strike. Necrotic Strike we're going to be stacking on healers in arena situations, and right now in arena there's going to be tons of healers. There really are a ton of healers inside of arena. So we go with the Crypt Fever and Necrotic Strike build to mainly pressure on those healers and cause them to not nearly do as much healing on the target we're trying to kill. It really turns out to be mechanically strong for our class. And if you want to do BGs, just switch over All Will Serve over to Bursting Swords to deal a lot more AoE pressure, and you will basically deal as much AoE as running like Epidemic and Pandemic inside of BG situations. Now, this is my favorite spec I like to play currently because, of course, the control and the damage you can deal just based on, I don't know, the upfront damage, because for a long time Unholy felt like it didn't have enough upfront damage, it didn't feel like it had enough consistency, and after these buffs, I feel like it really does have a pretty good amount of consistency. After the BG I did earlier this morning, I actually realized during, or after I posted the video, about 11 hours after posting the video, or 7, 8, something like that. Anyways, I found out I was wearing my shoulders and like the legendary ring from Warlords of Draenor. I don't even know why those were on, really. And I only had like 660 item level or something like that. I'm usually above 880 plus with any spec that I play, which I found very interesting. I was like, how the heck did I manage to do that? Coming back pretty rusty after that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this information. If you did want to play Unholy and you're a Frost DK, I suggest starting out with this spec. You're going to see the best results inside arena and, of course, BG situations using this. Now, the nice thing about Unholy DKs right now is with the PvP template, even without these specific abilities, the class is still 2400 plus viable, switching out any of these talents, because, I mean, you could actually go for fuller rotations over mechanical stability, saying you're playing some kind of TSG, but in my opinion, taking the mechanical stability in any arena situation currently is going to end up better as an Unholy DK. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like on the video, and until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.
At the edge of the hellfire.